All right, I really am starting this time, I promise. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's time to get started with our monthly meeting this month at Product for Agents. Happy October. We're getting into the fourth quarter here, and there is quite a bit of information and exciting news to share this month. Just a few housekeeping reminders before we move forward. Please do remember that this is a mixed audience between our Coldwell Banker affiliates and our Coldwell Banker Realty offices, both agents and employees. As a result, there are some variables in the product accessibility right now, and there may be times where we talk a little bit more about a product that one group may have and the other may not. We appreciate your patience while we're in the transition period, but do rest assured that if you don't have the product, our team's working really hard to bring it to you. So the information certainly will apply to you. We also have our team working behind the scenes in order to answer any questions that you have. So the live chat is open now, and it will continue to stay open through the end of the session. So if you have questions as our product experts are going through their different presentations, feel free to add those into the chat so we can try and get those answered for you right away. And then we also do record these sessions. So shortly after we wrap up the meeting today, if you go to the Desk Help Center, you will find a recording of today's presentation, as well as the presentation deck and any links that it might contain. Also, don't forget to open up your Slido app on your phone or open up another tab on your browser and join us at slido.com. And the code for today's session is hashtag TMAP, because our getting feedback from you guys is a very important part of our development process. So we do have several questions for you today that we will be asking a little bit further into our presentation. Just a quick reintroduction of our product management team. So this is the dream team behind the scenes that works around the clock in order to give you all access to the best technology that the real estate industry offers. You'll find that Craig Ashenoff is our director that covers a number of different products himself, and he works with Kiara, Katie, and James on his team. And we also have Heidi, who works a lot of the times with our concierge suite, listing, design, and the soon-to-be social, and Carrie and Melanie Sunderman are on Heidi's team. We have a great lineup today for our speakers. I will continue to be your moderator. And again, I'm Jennifer Craig. I'm your product deployment manager. Our panelists for today are Katie Sobray, and she'll be talking to you to make sure that you do have the latest scoop on the integration between CVX and Moxie Present. Kiara is going to be presenting MarketQuest version 2 that our agents will be receiving shortly. Carrie Pryor and Katie Thornton are going to be sharing some exciting news for Design Concierge for you as well. And Katie is our special guest for today. She's our National Director of Advertising and Design Concierge, and Katie works with our creative studio, though also very closely with us in product. So a few fun facts so you can get to know us a little bit more behind the scenes and who we are as individuals. It was my turn for a fun fact today, and what you see to the left is a kitchen remodel that we are very much in the middle of, but thank goodness we're getting close to the end of. And we are in our second back-to-back, top-to-bottom, complete house remodels in a row. This kitchen's been a giant project that involved everything from taking out a wall to lifting a ceiling to moving plumbing and electrical and everything that you can think of. But we're pretty happy with the results. And our final item that we have left is a giant kitchen island. And what you see in the top left is a sketch that I drew. And my amazing fiance is very handy, and he helps bring these creative ideas to life. Next, we have Kiara. I'll let you introduce your little guy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kiara, and my fun little fact is that I'm a mommy to a 1-year-old. Jordani got his name from the John Wick movies. I was 6 months pregnant, and I had no idea what we were going to name him. And when I think Keanu Reeves' character is with the woman who raised him. She tells him his real name. I think it's the first time in all 3 movies that she mentions it. And my husband and I looked at each other and we said, you know what? I love that name. And so that's how we came up with Jordani's name.
That's awesome. He's way too cute to be a John Wick guy, though. So he's much more Keanu in his very sweet vibes, in my opinion. And then Katie, your fun fact?
Thank you. When I am not working with this fantastic product studio, I am at the soccer fields with my 2 kids, Alexa, who's 10, and Knox, who is 5, or playing with our new, I guess we're calling it the pandemic puppy. Jumped on that wagon with the rest of the country, who is 4 months, and my kids named her Ghost. Thanks for having me.
It's a beautiful family.
Thank you.
On to some product deployment news. We certainly stay busy, especially in the 4th quarter of this year. So this is where Jillian and I work with all of our outstanding product owners in order to bring these products to market so you all finally have access to the technology that our team works so hard on. So we'll talk about what's in store for the rest of the year for our affiliates, for our Coldwell Banker Realty offices, and then also some updates on our deployment news. The timeline for the rest of the year for our Coldwell Banker affiliates is we did successfully go through our first launch on October 20th. This is something that we've been working on since January. It was a pretty big rollout for our first one on the affiliate side for both Moxie Present and then also Prospect Square. And on top of it, our affiliates had the benefit of immediately receiving the CBX integration with Moxie at the same time. So that happened, and we are full steam ahead to our next launch. So we have 2 different launch groups that are scheduled for November, again for both products, CBX and Moxie Present and Prospect Square. And then as we get into the last month of the year, as you can see, we have a lot going on. So we have 2 more launch groups scheduled for both products, but we'll also be beginning our pilots for both Listing Concierge and Design Concierge. So those pilot companies have already been identified. We're already working with them, and that's planned for the first half of December. Also, Coldwell Banker Commercial will be moving to Desk. And Desk will also undergo a number of different feature releases. And once those take place, we will also be retiring Coldwell Banker Exchange at the end of the year because everything has successfully been migrated over to its new home on Desk. And we'll also be retiring Improv, otherwise known as e-marketing, at the end of 2021 as well. Moving on to our Coldwell Banker Realty timeline, we did just launch the CBX and Moxie Present integration. That was a very successful launch. We actually had over 900 people attend the first training, so it sounds like you guys really enjoyed it. I know it was long awaited. We're really happy that we were able to bring that to you. Design Concierge is also now accessible through Desk. So instead of having to go to cbdesignconcierge.com, you all can pass through just like you do the rest of the products. And we also have an exciting project underway with Exclusive Look with the way it's connecting to Coldwell Banker homes. Right now that's in very early stages, but stay tuned because we will be talking a lot more about that before the end of the year. Next month, as we get into November, we will be launching Desk for everyone on the international side. So that's another big milestone for our Desk team. And then when we go into December, we'll be launching MarketQuest version 2 for all of our agents. You'll learn more about that today. Again, Coldwell Banker will be on Desk, additional feature releases for Desk, and then also, again, retiring CB Exchange. The desk initiatives that are currently in queue and well on their way for a short-term arrival will be your company directory. So this will be an office level directory where you're able to go in and look for people and favorite your contacts. We're also in the process of working on an awards and production product. So that will give you the ability to access award history and then also track your progress and see where you're at. The dashboard will be undergoing some updates, especially based on searches. And you can see in the third bubble that gives you a kind of a sneak peek of the wireframe and how you will be able to filter and sort your apps before too much longer. And as mentioned, we are going to be bringing our commercial agents onto desk as well. So now that we have the deployment news out of the way, I'm going to turn it over to Katie Sobray, who's going to take you through some more detail and a refresher on our CBX and Moxie Present integration.
Okay, thanks, Jen. You can go to the next slide. And the next one as well. Okay, so just a quick refresher on what the CBX and Moxie Present product is. It is our listing presentation and CMA tool that you can use to create really polished, professional, high-tech looking presentations. It's integrated with your MLS data so that it's always up to date and accurate with the latest information about what's happening with the listings you've chosen to use as comps, for you to be able to select new listings as comps, and really just demonstrate your expertise and the data that you have available. And as of last week, we have the CBX buyer locator integration live, so that agents also have access to that data from the CBX buyer locator. And we'll talk a little bit more about what exactly that means as part of the demo. Go on to the next. So why, as an agent, do you need the CBX and Moxie Present product? And what it's really about is making sure that you look your best when you're going into a listing presentation so that you're able to win the listing. And we know that when you're putting together one of these presentations, you really want it to feel like you've spent a lot of time and put a lot of effort into customizing this presentation for that individual seller and really stand out among the other agents that may be meeting with that prospective seller as well. We want all that to, happen for you, but we don't want you to actually need to spend a lot of time and effort and put a lot of work into it. So that's the beauty of Moxie Present. It really makes these incredible looking presentations that help you win listings without having to invest the time and effort. It just does it all for you. You can go to the next slide. Some of the key features of Moxie, we have our listing presentation and CMA, as I already touched on. It makes it really easy to search and select the relevant comparable properties, and it stays up to date based on that MLS data. Every time the presentation is updated, the MLS data will update. We've got our CBX buyer locator integration now live, and that's going to allow you to include demographic data and traits of likely buyers so that you can demonstrate to the seller how you're best positioned to reach those likely buyers and drive interest in their home. Moxie also has a buyer tour feature for you to use with your buyer clients that allow you to create presentations for them to show properties that might be of interest to them, and also to create a buyer tour, which lets you, put together a list of properties that you're going to be visiting with them. All of the information is in there for them to preview those properties, complete with driving directions for them to use on the day of the tour, and built-in feedback collection for them to rate and provide feedback that you can access via Moxie. And the presentations are also easy to customize, so agents are able to use their own materials in addition to the company provided materials to make their own personalized presentations, including video and other rich media that they want to incorporate. Coming soon on our Moxie roadmap, we are currently in the process of onboarding our Group 1 affiliate companies, and we're also working with Moxie on expanding the comp search to enable search by subdivision. So a little bit more about what that CBX buyer integration means. It is now live. It's live as of last Tuesday, and the integration is going to be available in your seller listing presentations only. And what CBX does is it leverages big data from a few different sources, analyzes that data and the market, and helps you identify the most likely buyers for the property, including key demographic traits about those buyers so that you're able to show the prospective seller that you really know who to target for buying that property and how to generate interest by reaching that audience. We have the CBX 2 pages added as part of this CBX buyer integration. There's a buyer profile intelligence page and also a map page. Both of them are interactive, and I'll show you that in our demo. They have automatically been added in your seller presentation template, so any new presentations you create will have these pages included in them. They're also available in the page library, so if you have an existing presentation that you want to add them to, or if you're using your own customized template and you want to add them in, you can access them that way, and I'll also show you how to do that. Default values have been set for the pages so that there will be information on them when you go in and create a presentation without you needing to customize them. But there are additional data points available that you can add, or you can remove data points so that you're really in control of what is included in your presentation. And you're sure that what we're showing the buyer, the prospective client, is going to fit with the narrative that you're delivering as part of your presentation. We also just wanted to note that this is the same data that you're familiar with if you've been using CBX Buyer Locator as a standalone tool or as part of the CBX listing experience, but some data points have been removed due to fair housing concerns, and you'll see that both inside of Moxie and in the standalone tool. And I think that brings us to the training / demo portion of this. So I'll talk through these 2 slides, and then I'll go live into the tool to show you both of the things that I'm going to talk through. So the first is just using these CBX and Moxie Present pages. You're able to, as I said, just log in as you normally would, create a new presentation, selecting a seller template. You do need to populate all of the subject property information in order for the algorithm to be able to find the correct buyer information. And then when you get to the Pages tab, you'll see the 2 pages have been added there, the CBX Buyer Intelligence page and the CBX Buyer Map page. You can edit both of those pages to adjust the data points that are included in the presentation. When you use the web link or send the presentation as a PDF, all of the data points will be included, and I'll show you how that looks as well as part of the demo. So the next slide, I'm going to also talk through how you add the pages to an existing presentation, and that is simply to go into your presentation from the Pages tab and use the Add a Page from the page library. Click on the CBX Pages option you see in the library, and then use the buttons that say Add to add those pages to the presentation. Then you just click on the Pages tab to get back to your presentation. You can reposition the pages as you normally do by dragging them within the list of pages in the left-hand side. And you, again, would edit the page options to set the data points that you want to appear in your presentation. Okay, and I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, so as you can see, here's my CBX and Moxie dashboard where I can see all of my presentations. To create a new presentation, I'm just going to click Create New. The CBX Buyer Locator pages are only available in seller pages. I did want to show that there has been a small change to the way you choose templates. So if you have custom templates, those are the templates you're going to see first. If there are templates published by your brokerage, you'll see those. And there are also our Coldwell Banker company provided templates in this Coldwell Banker tab. So I would choose the seller presentation template that I want to use and click Continue to create the presentation. I've already got one started though, so we can just click through. So I would provide my subject property information as you normally would, search for and select the comps that I want to include. I can make any adjustments that I need to in the listing tab, fill in my estimate information. And when I get to this Pages tab, this is where I can scroll down and find those buyer CBX pages that have been added. I can click to view that page and see some of the information that's showing there. And these are interactive in this view, so if I wanted to click through and see exactly what's there, I can do that. I can also edit this page by highlighting the page and clicking on that pencil icon, and you can see that brings up the data points here. And I can choose to select all of them, none of them. If I do select none of them, the page will be hidden from my presentation. It won't be displayed as a blank page. And I can also choose to remove some of these data points if I didn't want to have all of this included in my presentation. And then when I close this out, my page will refresh here. So you can see it's going back to the CBX buyer locator tool, getting the data to populate that page. And if you see this icon here that the page is unavailable, that's all that it means, is that it's refreshing the data on that page. And the same applies with my buyer profile map page. When I come in here, I can preview the page. It is interactive. I can move the map, I can zoom in, and I can also edit in the same way. I click on the pencil icon and I can choose which data points or map layers I want to have included in my presentation. I'm going to take the pages out so I can show you how you would add them. So if this were my presentation and I did not have those CBX pages, or as I just did, if you decide you don't want to use the pages, you could just click the X to remove the page. And then I'm going to go to Add Page and Add from Library. This is how I would add the page if it was not in my presentation. And once the library comes up, you'll see there are some folder options on the left-hand side, and one of them is CBX pages, and I can go into that section and add both of these pages. So in this column, I can see some add buttons here. I'm going to click to add both of the pages, and then to get back to my presentation, I just click on the pages up in the top again. And here are the pages added back to my presentation. So this is what the web presentation looks like if I were presenting this to a client on a device, or if I sent it via email to the client and they were looking at it in their own browser. I'm going to skip down to the CBX buyer profile section to show you what this will look like when you're presenting it or when the client views it. So here's the home buyer profile page. Again, this is interactive, so I can click through. We are working on making this widget resize more appropriately. So if you're including the transit or mobility score, we're aware that it comes up a little bit small on the page, and that is in progress of fix. And we have the tabs here, as you can see. So any data points that you've selected will be displayed. And then with the map, again, this is interactive, so I can view the different map layers directly in the presentation. I can also click on these data points and you see the data updates. So when I export the presentation to a PDF, obviously you lose this interactivity because you can't click on a PDF and have it respond. So this is what it will look like if you've exported your presentation to a PDF. We've got the page that kind of gives the background on what the CBX buyer profile is, and then each of the tabs of my buyer profile will come out as a separate page. So here's the page about the zip code, about homes, and about people. And then each of my map layers will also export as an individual page so that all of the data is there. And it's just going to include whichever layers I have selected when I set the preferences on my data points that I wanted to include for the CBX buyer locator. That wraps up my demo, so I'm going to stop sharing. I can see there's been some questions that came in the Q&A, so I'll start responding to those, and you'll see that pop up in the questions section. And we do have a Slido question for you today about the CBX and Moxie Present integration, and that's just a question to gauge how valuable you think this will be when you're using it in your listing presentations.
All right, everyone. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties for a second there. The Slido question is open, and we do have some answers already starting to come in. So we are going to go ahead and leave that live while we go ahead and move forward in the presentation. So please do give us some feedback. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are. So now it's time to turn everything over to Kiara so she can give you all a sneak peek of some of the exciting changes that are coming to MarketQuest.
Thanks, Jen. Hi, everyone. My name is Kiara. I'll be talking about MarketQuest and what will be available to you starting December 10th. So we're going to walk through what MarketQuest is, why you need it, some key features, what will be coming soon. Then I'll have a small demo and finally some Slido questions. So what is MarketQuest? Some of you might be familiar with MarketQuest version 1 is what you have access to today. What we're working on is MarketQuest version 2, which is an improved and enhanced version of the first product. So MarketQuest essentially is a reporting platform that intakes MLS data and generates reports of the real estate market. It'll identify #1 market share by various segments that you choose, and we prepackage marketing materials that you can share on social media. It performs market analysis and generates reports on market activity, not just market share. And it is a tool for you to provide insights to facilitate the pricing of new listings or price reduction discussions with your clients. It's also a tool for our managers and agents to generate reports and show the dominance of our market. Why do you need MarketQuest? So MarketQuest is there for you to attract potential clients and impress existing clients by demonstrating that you know your market and that you know the trends that are going on in real estate. You can use MarketQuest's transaction data to help your clients make smart decisions. If you take pride in your company's market position rank, you can share this with your prospective clients and managers with recruits, since MarketQuest will automatically generate #1 claims for your locations and create beautiful marketing assets for you to share this. So some key features of MarketQuest is that we now generate #1 claim reports automatically for you. So we will generate #1 claims for Coldwell Banker at a brand, brokerage, or office level for your market. All you have to do is select your MLS and look for some locations that you might want to see if we are #1 in. And if you're #1, we will generate the report for you. What's coming soon is also the market position reports. This is currently the market share functionality in version 1. And this displays the share of the market that is captured by each of the major brokerages in the select location. So you might not be #1 in this case, you might be #3, #5, but it shows you what market share is looking like in the location that you're searching for. When running a market position report, you are presented with the market share of the 5 major brokerages within the area and the parameters you choose. MarketQuest also differentiates from version 1 because we create social assets for you. So it'll create social images that you can share and download for social media. And last but not least, we provide to you an image gallery of 10 to 12 images that you can use when creating these social assets to best suit the location that you're creating reports for. And coming soon, I know that this is popular for people that use version 1 of MarketQuest. They like the market action / trend report that will not be available to you December 10th when market share is available, but it will be coming soon in Q1 of next year. So here's just, I'm going to walk through the steps for using number one claims, same as Katie did, and then I will show you live what this looks like. So you'll start on by logging into Desk and looking for the MarketQuest version 2 tile on Desk once you have it available, again, on December 10th. You will have to select the MLS that you want to use. This is something that you can do one time if you set it as your default. And if not, if you don't set it as your default, you'll get asked the same question every time you log in. So that's pretty much up to you. You then will apply filters to find your preferred number one claim. You'll apply your locations, your transaction side, the date ranges that you want to find this number one claim for. And then you can click on the number one report that you want to see. Once you click on the report, you will, on the little tiles on the right, you will be shown the actual report in full screen. And you can click on the preview website to see what the link that you'll be sharing on social media looks like. Next slide. Then the way to share or download these number one claims, there's a few ways that you can share this information. So to share the live report on social media, you'll click on the share button on the top right and select the social platform you want to share on. To print the report, you can export as PDF and select what orientation you'd like to download, whether that be portrait or landscape. To email the live report, you can click on email and add the recipients you would like to share this with. And if you want to download these and not use the one-click share, you can definitely click on the tiles at the bottom if you want to share the image or if you want to share the graph. That's up to you. You click on either one and then MarketQuest will ask you which size you want to download, whether it be wide, tall, or square. Depends on the social media you want to use this for. So the tall one, for example, you could use it on an Instagram story or an Instagram story as well. And then we also offer home spotter ads. So you can click on home spotter ad on either the number one image or the number one graph tile. Again, choose which size to download. For now, we're offering web and Facebook. And to use the image gallery, you will go to the top right on the little picture on your profile menu icon, and you can click on settings and then change your default image, and then you will be presented with the images available to your office. And then you can view them on a nice carousel, and once you've decided on which image to use, you can set it as your default, and this will all be applied to all the social assets. Okay, I'm going to take this screen and share with you how this works. Give me one sec. Okay, so once you go into Desk and look for the MarketQuest V2 tile, you'll click on it and you'll be received with this pop-up, and it says, hey, to begin, please select the MLS you want to use. You will only see this if you have more than one MLS assigned to you via CB Homes. If you only have one MLS, the only pop-up you're going to get is a confirmation saying, hey, this is the MLS you are assigned to. This is only when you're a first-time user, and you'll not see that again. So once you're here, if you are part of multiple MLSs, you'll click the MLS that you'd like to use, and you can either save this as your default and never have to see this pop up again, or you can unclick this and select the MLS every time you log into MarketQuest if you know that you're going to be running reports differently. And you'll click continue, and it'll automatically, the locations will automatically populate depending on the MLS that you chose. So for number one claims, we're only offering county, city, and zip code. If you want to use subdivisions and school district, that will come along in the market position tab, which I'll walk you through in a little bit. So what you can do here is immediately search for a city, county, or zip that you want to look for, or you can come into the drop downs and scroll through the locations. There will be locations that are not clickable. This means that there are no number one claims, but the ones that are enabled, that means that there are number one claims for you. So you can go ahead and click on Allegheny, and you'll see that we track what locations you're picking for, and immediately to the right, all the number one claims will filter to just show you Allegheny County. It works the same way with a city. You can scroll and see which cities have number one, or you can come in here and look for, let's say, Ambler. And if you're not number one, MarketQuest will tell you. It highlights it in red and says, I'm sorry, but the location that you chose isn't number one. We can add Anvil here, which is enabled, so that means that there is a number one. And you can click here, and when you add it, you'll see that it's a regular gray chip. That means that, yes, this filter was applied. You have a city in that location. Sorry, you have a number one in that location. You'll see the filters light up in blue once you've enabled the filter. If they're not enabled, they'll be in gray, and that's how you can keep track of which filters you've applied or not. Then if you're just looking for a particular number one claim, maybe you're just looking for total, list, or buy, you can come here and click, and again, everything will filter to the right. You can also filter by units or filter by volume. And you can select which time period you want to use. For now, we're only generating last year, last quarter, and last month number one claims, but there is more flexibility in the market position reports, which is custom market share that you can completely customize for your needs. And finally, we group them by brand, brokerage, or office reports. And we also tell you in the cards what this is. So you can see that this is Allegheny County number one for at the brand level. That means CBR and CBA together for last quarter for total volume using the Bright MLS. And the graph you see is a little preview of what you'll be seeing once you click on the report. So if you don't want, your number two competitor to be so close, you can look at maybe this one looks better for you because there is a bigger difference here. So once you decide, okay, this is the report I want to run, you can click on the tile. Sorry, my internet's a little slow. And you'll come into the report page and it'll tell you Coldwell Banker is number one in Allegheny County. You'll see that you're number one in this market and you lead by 25 million from the nearest competitor here. So you'll see how much more we sold in terms of number two. And then you'll see Coldwell Banker's number one at 46 million, Long and Foster's number two, and so forth. This is a brand level report. So this is not per office or per brokerage, but I can show you what that looks like as well. So you can share this information. There is the website. So once you click the preview website, this website you can share on social media or via email. We'll be sharing a link, and once the user clicks on this link, they'll be taken to this page. And they'll see exactly what you're seeing on this page as well, except that it'll have your information on the right-hand side. You won't see a lot of my information here because I'm not an agent, but I do have another placeholder right here. You'll see Sean definitely has more information than I do. They'll be able to see your license number, your office information, your phone number. They'll be able to email you by just clicking this link. They can visit your preferred website, and if you don't have one, it'll take you to your CB Homes profile page. And we're also linking your social media profile. So if you've included it in CB Homes, it'll appear here. So once a client logs in and says, oh, I want to take a look at your Facebook, they can click on your Facebook and it'll take them to your Facebook page. The View Homes page link will also take them to your website, so you're not losing any leads in that sense. You can email this report. You can click on email and add all the recipients that you'd like, and then you can send this email. The user will get an email with a link to this report page right here. You can also export it as a PDF. As I said, you can do landscape or portrait. You can click on landscape, it'll immediately download, or you can share this as well via social media during one click. So we'll download this so you can see what it looks like. On share, you'll have the opportunity to share on Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, or you can copy the URL to just share it. Once you click on Facebook, it'll have a nice pop-up and your Facebook profile will load if everything is signed in, and this is what you will be sharing on Facebook. And it'll say, hey, check us out, we're number one. We're linking this nice graph, and when a user clicks on this post on your Facebook, it'll take them to this report right here. It works the same way for all the social medias. If, just an example, you don't want to share the graph or you want to share to another social profile that we're not sharing here, you can also share the number one image, which is just an image without the graph. We know some MLSs have some restrictions. You can download this image wide, tall, and square, and then manually share this to any social media. Or you can share the number one graph. Again, it's the graph, and it'll have disclaimers and everything, and you can choose to download between wide, tall, and square. And if you want to do a home spotter ad for this graph, you can do it as well. You can click on the home spotter link and download either the web or Facebook. And I'll show you what the tall image looks like, just so you can get a sense of why we have these manual images as well. And here is just a little preview of what the PDF will look like. It's nice and clean, and you can import this easily into a Moxie presentation. And here is an example of one of the images you can download. So this is the tall version of the image, which you can quickly share on your Instagram. You download it and you can post this, and it's formatted so it fits and looks really nice on your social. As you can see, I have this image in the background, but that you don't have to use that image. The last thing to show is the settings and the image gallery. Once you go into settings and click on your image gallery, you can change the default image. You'll be presented with the images available for you, and you can go ahead and view it and expand these and set it as your default, or you can go through them and say, no, I like this a lot better. And again, set it as your default. As soon as that is set, you can click on the exit button here, and immediately everything will be updated with the background. And you'll see here, if you click on the website, it should also reflect the new background that you chose. So that's it for me in terms of presentation. So you can take the screen back, Jen. I think after this is the Slido question. Awesome. So I just have one Slido question for you guys, and is MarketQuest a tool you would use? And you just have 3 choices, yes, maybe, or no. And we'll leave that open until the next Slido question.
Thank you. That was good stuff. I enjoyed that. You can skip to the next slide, please. So what we'll cover today is a little history of how we started Design Concierge. We'll jump into the products that Design Concierge offers, and then I will turn it over to my product partner, Carrie, to do a demo. We'll talk about what happens once you place an order, and then we will talk about training and go to a Slido. Just to let you guys know, Design Concierge is available in all Coldwell Banker Realty markets across the country. We are piloting for our Coldwell Banker affiliate companies in Q4, and then plan to do a phased rollout across 2021. Next slide. So I really can't believe that it was less than 2 years ago that we started down this journey, but what we found is that agents, probably many of you, were looking for creative ways to stand out in what you guys know is a highly competitive industry. And a lot of times you were turning to your office staff or even outside resources to create personal marketing. And what ended up happening is we would see them and they either, lacked consistency or did not abide by the Coldwell Banker standards, so they were not as valuable to you. And what we also know is that 45% of customers expect great design across all marketing collateral. And a consistent brand can increase your revenue by 33% and recognition by 80%. But when we look at what agencies charge, they are charging between $100 to upwards of $200 per hour. I don't know about you guys, but that is not something that is friendly on most of our pocketbooks. So next slide, please. So that is why we created Design Concierge. What are we? So we are a full service, creative, agile, and diverse and deadline-driven team. We actually offer not only designers, but we have copywriters, account and project managers who know the Coldwell Banker brand inside and out. So we really understand all of the requirements and rules for each of your states. And because we focus on real estate, we're able to deliver great designs to you without that typical agency price. We have everything from packages to semi-custom products to custom products that include logos and business cards, which we'll get to. But at Design Concierge, we like to say, be powerful, be memorable, be you. So what does this mean for you? Where's the value in all of this? It is meant to help you create a great first impression, but also a lasting one. We also offer high quality agency work. So many of our designers and copywriters have worked for major ad agencies or really gone to school to hone in on this expertise. We also have a net promoter score of 68, which is considered excellent, and that is used to gauge, obviously, customer loyalty. We're affordable. So I think that's a big one. We have semi-custom products that start as low as under $100. Then we have some more customized options available. And then we have packages that are even further discounted. You guys are busy, probably the most busy people I know. So we are deadline driven. To date, 99% of our products ordered on Design Concierge have met the turnaround time. And then once again, we have that knowledgeable team. We know real estate, we know the state rules and regulations. We will make sure that you will not get fined in your local market for anything that you create through Design Concierge. And last but not least, we're very easy to use, and we have a secure online payment system for checkout. So let's get into the packages. We have 2 packages today. First, our disruptor package, which is meant exactly to do that, disrupt the market, your competition. It includes 9 different products ranging from custom logo to business card, all the way down to our newest product, which is a semi-custom personal website through our new partner Luxury Presence. These websites are gorgeous, top of the line, and highly competitive in this industry. And then last but not least, we have the property marketing templates for Listing Concierge. The huge benefit here is we create all of those templates, and then you are able to use those pieces for all of your Listing Concierge purchases going forward. So your personal brand is getting out to the consumer base for all of your packages. And then we have the Brand Boost package. If you're not quite ready to invest in Disruptor, it includes 5 different products. These are both discounted because you're purchasing a bundle. Next, we have our semi-custom products, many which are priced under $100. They range from a logo to a business card, property email headers. We have an Outlook email signature, a personal brochure, bio copy, of course, social media headers, and then the semi-custom templates for Listing Concierge. When we talk about turnaround times for the semi-custom products, majority of them are within 2 to 3 business days, with the exception of the brochure and the property marketing templates, and mainly because there's a little bit more copywriting involved in those, and then the programming with Listing Concierge. Any product that you order on Design Concierge will include 2 rounds of revisions in that price. Next slide, please. Then we have our custom products. So if you need a little bit more customization than what the semi-custom products offer, you can head on over to custom. We do provide estimates for these products, and the reason for that is we only charge you based on the hours we spend. So if it takes, 2 hours versus 4, you are only going to pay for the hours we use. The turnaround times on these products are typically 6 to 7 days, with the exception of our custom listing presentation. That product is big. It is offered in print and also Moxie. We set up a scoping call with you to figure out exactly what it is that you want, so we make sure that we deliver to your expectations. And then again, on the custom products, it includes 2 rounds of revisions. We can head on over to the next slide, and I am going to turn it over to Carrie to talk about all the great enhancements that just went live.
Great. Can you guys hear me? Hi, everyone. It's Carrie Pryor, and Katie and I, she's my partner in crime, as she said, on Design Concierge on the product side. So just yesterday, you may have seen announcements went out on CB Briefs to everybody. Is we launched some exciting new features, and I will demo the site in a little bit, but just to let you guys know, we can access Design Concierge via desk with just single sign-on. So what that means for our CBR agents is no more additional logins, which is awesome news. And affiliates, when you guys start getting on the program, same goes for you. So just makes everyone's life easier. We've also made some changes to our navigation on Design Concierge. It looks more like desk, and I'll show you guys, but easy to find things, and it's kind of the navigation you're starting to get used to as we move that way towards all of our studio products. We've also added a profile section in Design Concierge, and I'll show that to you as well. But what we've done is we've captured your headshot, your company, your office, your phone numbers, places where you can put in your cell phone, you can save your Facebook, you can put in your Twitter. You can save your website URL. So anytime you go to place an order in Design Concierge, once your profile's all good to go, everything will just flow into every order for you and you never need to retype it. It's almost like a check your profile once and go from there kind of thing. Next slide. Then the last thing we've done, I think this is going to be awesome for all of our agents that are using Design Concierge. And I will show you guys how to do this, but we have delegation via desk now for Design Concierge. So delegation is great for any agent who has a partner, a co-lister, you're part of a team or group, you have an assistant, anything like that. You can delegate these people via desk. Then you just give them access to your Design Concierge account and they can go into Design Concierge and act on your behalf. We don't store credit card information. So just so you know, anytime you do this, you need to remember that you'll need to go back and provide a credit card if you'd like to place an order. And also something to note here is you do not need to delegate any Coldwell Banker, office employee, field marketing employee, any of us, because we have access to help you anytime we need to. Same with the success team. So only delegate people that you work with on a daily basis and we can take care of the rest. All right, next slide. All right, I'm going to take over the screen. And let me know, Katie, can you see my desk home screen?
Not quite. I think it's, yep, now we can.
Now you can. Okay, great. So everybody, this is desk. Everybody's familiar with this now. We've got our Design Concierge card here. You'll notice now there is a help center link, and what we're going to talk about and everything Katie's talked about, although of course it will be emailed out, I just wanted to show you guys, we have quite a healthy help center. And in fact, 2 new guides that we've added are teaching everybody how to use delegation via desk, which is you all. And then I've posted a guide for any employee who happens to be listening on this call, the on behalf of functionality for those of us that might need to help someone place or save an order. And then we have guides on how to use pretty much anything on Design Concierge. But let me cruise on in here. So again, we've got our, oops, let me go there. We have our single sign-on now. You'll know there's no additional password. So let's just let it figure out who I am and let it load. And you come right into Design Concierge. And if you haven't seen it already, you will notice, it should look pretty familiar. Here's desk. Here's Design Concierge. So we have a super familiar looking interface that hopefully can cut out some steps for you. You don't need to poke around. You'll notice here's my profile. I can go right into my profile. And it's really going to pull in everything that we have on you that we can get. And honestly, to be totally transparent, we're working on getting more information. So you might come in one day and lots of stuff will be filled out automatically. You won't even have to think twice. But anyway, all of your information from Dash and Trident will be located right here. And then we fill in everything. We've got your phone numbers, anything we can find, your title, your website, your social media channels. Another cool thing that you can put in here is if you have a note that maybe, I put, please always use my cell phone and the picture of me with a green shirt. Let's say your name is Susan and your nickname is Cookie. You can literally put a note in here that says, please make sure to always use Cookie on my materials or whatever. These are notes that you can keep for yourself and any of your designers or project manager at the Design Concierge. Also, I wanted to be transparent to let everybody on the call know right now, we're having an issue typing in our Facebook URLs. Don't worry, you can still put it on your order. I just wanted to let you know that was something we were finding out this morning. So that is our My Profile area. You'll also notice we've got our My Projects area. Anything that you've created, saved, purchased, etc. will all be under My Projects. You'll notice I'm obviously the best customer. I have hundreds of projects that I've done, but you can see your history here. And then of course we have support and signing out and all that sort of thing. But let's go over to the home page of Design Concierge. You can just go through here. You can see all of our products, the semi-custom products. You get some pretty screenshots and some explaining of what they are. And then let's go to semi-custom design, just so I can show you. I don't want to take up too much time. I'm not going to go through the products because we're running low. But really quick, just wanted to show you guys, let's say you wanted to create an email signature. Notice how it filled in everything it had about me already. Everything is in here. But my Facebook URL, remember, because that one's not working, you can just type it here. We didn't lock any of these fields. And you just, every one of our products has a wizard. You can just go through, save, purchase, etc. We also have our custom designs that Katie went over, and we have our packages that Katie went over. You all don't have admin. I'm the admin, so you don't get that. But otherwise, that is our new site, accessible via desk. You have your profile section. And let's go back to desk just really quick. I'm going to show you guys delegation. If you go to settings and you'd like to delegate, like I said, your partner, your co-lister, your assistant, whatever. Settings, delegation. Pick someone to delegate. I've already delegated Katie, so I'm going to pick, let's say, Ken Demons from the success team. I just add him. He's added. An email's going to fire off to let me know I've added him. Then I come down here and I pick that I'm delegating him to be my design concierge person. And that's all I have to do. I just hit that and they're updated and we're done. So we have our desk single sign-on. We have our way to delegate our partners and co-listers. Everything's updated on the help desk area. You can look at your profile and everyone should go in and just at least click that desk tile one time, initiate an account on Design Concierge. Even if you're not going to get something today, at least you know you'll be ready to go next time. All right, that's the end of my demo.
Thanks, Carrie.
Sure.
So while Jen takes back the screen, I will just tell you guys, once you have placed an order on Design Concierge, you will get an automatic email confirmation, and then within 24 hours, your product will be assigned to a copywriter or a designer, and then you will receive a proof with either the 2 to 3 turnaround or 6 to 7 based on what product you order. You will get final files in design as well if you would like them. And then at any point during the process, you can call that 833-33BU to be connected to either our support or design concierge team. So I believe this is when I am going to steal the screen real quick and share the Design Concierge portfolio. And I am having trouble doing that. Here we go.
There you go. We can see your screen.
Can you see the Design Concierge portfolio?
Yeah, we can see your portfolio. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is the portfolio of work for Design Concierge. We are working to get this posted onto the site so you guys can browse it at any point during your ordering process. But this is a live link in the presentation that will go out today. It showcases a lot of the great custom logos that we've created for agents across the country. We also have some business cards on here. Social media headers, just a whole lot of great work that agents have utilized and engaged with the Design Concierge team. So it's super fun and inspiring to look through. Be sure to do that and click on the link when we share. Okay, Jen, I think you can take it back.
This might be when we proceed into our Slido. See what Jen's got coming up next. Oh, right. Let me just cover this real quick. We've got training, 3:30, 2:30, 12:30, different time zones, and you can attend any of our training. It's each month, first and third Wednesday, and it's on Sales Pro for the CBR. And CBA, when you all come over, we'll make it available to you as well. All right. And then Katie, I think if you want to tee up the Slido event that's coming up.
So we have lots of enhancements coming for Design Concierge 2021, 3 that we would like you guys to vote on and prioritize for us are a new package, the Essentials package, which includes a custom logo, semi-custom email signature, and social header as one option. A new development package really meant to support your new development business with assets that will help you do so. And then also the semi-custom advertising product. So you can order an ad to be personalized with your information and listings received in 2 to 3 business days. So go ahead and please give us feedback so we can prioritize these enhancements. And I'm going to turn it over to Jen.
All right, thank you everyone for all of the great information that was shared today. I know we went a little long on time, but hopefully everyone found it worth your while. Don't forget that we do have links built into this presentation. So if you'd like to spend a little bit more time going through the Design Concierge portfolio, there is a link that's built in. And again, you'll be able to find this recording as well as the presentation in the Desk Help Center, usually within a few hours of after we wrap this meeting up. We have been answering questions as we have gone through the session today. We've actually answered quite a few, so in the interest of time, we're going to skip the live Q&A for today. And just wanted to remind you that we do have our next TMAP for agents coming up on November 18th. So please do keep an eye on all of the company communications as well as your training calendars so you're able to access and then come on in, because of course you'll be able to see the latest and greatest and everything that's on the way to you by joining these sessions. Thank you all for joining us today, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week and have a wonderful Halloween this weekend. I hope it's safe and fun and that everything is all that it should be for Halloween. Thanks again, everyone.